1996 NBA Most Valuable Player.
Thank you, man.
So you are the NBA's Kia MVP. Congratulations.
And in a league of very valuable players, you are the most valuable.
Today we're diving into a topic that's always fun to debate, and that's the greatest NBA players who have never won an MVP award. Now, the MVP is one of the most coveted honors in basketball, symbolizing the best player in the league for that season. But sometimes, due to unlucky breaks, stiff competition, or bad timing, some of the best players in NBA history end up without that elusive trophy. Today, we're counting down the top 10 players who deserve to be in the MVP conversation, but never quite got their hands on the trophy. And spoiler alert, the list includes some all-time greats who are still legends without that MVP hardware. Let's start with Patrick Ewing. The man was simply a beast on the court, especially during his prime with the New York Knicks. He came close to winning the MVP 3 times, but here's the problem. He played in an era dominated by Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Karl Malone. When you're going up against legends like that, it's tough to get the recognition you deserve. But make no mistake, Ewing was the entire Knicks during their golden era, leading them to 2 finals appearances. He also holds franchise records in points, rebounds, blocks, and just about every other statistical category you can think of. His number 33 jersey hangs in Madison Square Garden for a reason. He may not have an MVP, but his legacy is cemented in New York. Next up, we've got Clyde Drexler. The Glide, one of the most graceful and talented players of his time. He was so close to winning the MVP in 1992 when he led the Portland Trail Blazers to the finals. The only problem, he had to face none other than, you guessed it, Michael Jordan. Jordan ended up winning the MVP that year, and the Bulls beat the Blazers in the finals, leaving Drexler without either honor. Later in his career, Drexler joined forces with Hakeem Olajuwon in Houston, where he finally won a championship ring in 1995. But MVP trophy? Nope, Drexler still never got it. Still, he's a Hall of Famer and a legend in his own right. Now, here's a mind-blowing fact. Elgin Baylor never won an MVP and never won an NBA championship. That's almost hard to believe when you look at his stats. Baylor was a dominant force in the 60s, averaging 34 points and 19 rebounds during his best seasons. So why didn't he win? Well, he played in the same era as Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, and Bill Russell. 3 guys who essentially hogged all the MVPs back then. Despite coming in second place for the award twice, Baylor just couldn't catch a break. His individual stats, though, would absolutely guarantee him an MVP if he were playing today, absolutely no question. Kevin McHale is one of the greatest forwards to ever play the game, and he played a huge role in the Boston Celtics' dominance during the 1980s. But when your teammate is Larry Bird, who won 3 MVPs in a row, it's going to be tough to carve out space for individual accolades. McHale was a crucial part of those Celtics championship teams and even won 2 Six-Man of the Year awards, but an MVP, that wasn't in the cards for him. He helped open the floor for Larry Bird, but Bird always still got the MVP love. Still, McHale's impact on the Celtics can't be understated. He's a Hall of Famer with an all-time great resume without that MVP. The leader of the Bad Boy Pistons, Isaiah Thomas, never got an MVP award either. And that's a bit surprising considering he won 2 NBA championships during a time when the Lakers and Celtics were dominating the league. One of the reasons Thomas may have missed out on that is he wasn't the most media-friendly player, and that probably hurt his MVP chances. On top of that, he had to compete with guys like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird for those awards. But make no mistake, Thomas was one of the best point guards in NBA history and earned himself 2 Finals MVPs instead. Eight NBA championships, a Finals MVP, and still no regular season MVP for John Havlicek. It's wild when you think about it. Havlicek played during a time when Bill Russell and Bob Cousy were racking up MVPs, and he never got his chance. His best finish in the MVP race was 4th place in 1972, and he was consistently one of the top players in the league, making the NBA top 10 4 years in a row. But when you win 8 titles, you can probably live without the MVP, right? John Stockton is the NBA's all-time leader in assists and steals, but somehow he never won MVP. Stockton, along with Karl Malone, made up one of the most iconic duos in NBA history with the Utah Jazz. But while Malone did win 2 MVP awards, Stockton never quite got there. His passing ability and court vision were unmatched, but playing in the shadow of teammates and contemporaries like Michael Jordan meant Stockton was always the bridesmaid and never the bride. Still, he left his mark as one of the best point guards of all time, and that counts for something. Without Scotty Pippen, there is no Michael Jordan. It's as simple as that. Pippen was the perfect complement to Jordan and played a crucial role in all 6 of the Bulls' championships. But playing alongside MJ meant Pippen would never get his moment to shine as the league's best player. Jordan took home 5 MVPs during their time together, and while Pippen put up incredible numbers, they were always overshadowed by MJ. Pippen will always be remembered as one of the greatest second options in NBA history, but it's hard to believe he never even came close to winning the MVP. Dwayne Wade was one of the most exciting players of the modern era and has 3 championships to his name but no MVP award. In fact, his 2009 season was absolutely bonkers, and it felt like if there was ever a year he deserved it, it was that one. Unfortunately, LeBron James was in his prime and scooped up the award himself. Wade did get a Finals MVP in 2006 after leading the Miami Heat to a championship, and he also had the misfortune of joining forces with LeBron during the Heat's Big 3 era, which made it nearly impossible for him to stand out individually. At the top of our list is the man whose silhouette is literally the NBA logo, and that's Jerry West. It's shocking to think that West never won an MVP, considering how great he was throughout his career with the Lakers. He played in an era dominated by Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and while he had incredible individual seasons, those players consistently overshadowed him. Despite winning a Finals MVP and leading the Lakers to numerous deep playoff runs, West never managed to claim the MVP trophy during the regular season. It's a glaring omission for a player of his caliber. Now, a quick shout out to a few players who didn't make the top 10 but definitely deserve a mention. Chris Paul, for example, has had some insane season and could easily be on this list. Tracy McGrady comes to mind too, although that's probably more recency bias. And finally, Kawhi Leonard, who won 2 championships, 2 Finals MVPs, and 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, never quite had an MVP-worthy regular season, though you could argue 2017 came close. At the end of the day, some of the names on the list are worthy because of their resume, and others are worthy because they are some of the most talented players we have ever seen in the league to not win an MVP award. So there you have it, the top 10 NBA players who never won a regular season MVP. Each of these guys left an undeniable mark on the game, and while they may have not won an MVP trophy, at least their legacies are secure. But what do you guys think? Did we leave anyone off the list? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more upcoming videos and NBA content. My name is Damian Peters. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.